So over to you, Sam. Please begin when you are ready. We see everything and hear you too.
Okay, thank you, Simon, for organizing this, and thanks to Lawrence and everyone else for inviting me. So what I'll do is I'll talk about the involvement of BITRI and MRS in contributing towards the growth of materials research in Africa. So there are a number of objectives that MRS has got, but to sum it up all into one, the main thing is basically to just promote excellence in all aspects of materials research in Africa. So there are different ways in which we look at that. So I'll just show you some of the things that we are doing to try and contribute towards this main objective. So in terms of how we operate, we have a secretariat office that is based at BITRI, which is where I work. So we have a team. The whole idea is to be able to cover the whole of Africa and the MRS members that are also outside Africa. So for the Secretariat Office, basically there are two main objectives to see how we can ensure that all the 55 countries in Africa, they are involved in MRS activities. And we also understand that one of the major stumbling blocks is availability of funding. So we're looking at ways in which we can be able to generate funds in a sustainable way to ensure that there's continuity in whatever we try out. So I think over the years, ever since the office was set up, we've seen a growth in the activities and opportunities. So as we are now, as we stand, we are now expanding. If you can see from the organogram there, we have two officers that are going to be joining us very soon. So at least we can be able to team up and contribute more towards the growth of materials research. So this office is located in Gaborone, Botswana. That is where we have the Center for Coordinating the Activities in Africa. So in terms of what has been our main activity over the past, should I say, 20 years, where people have been coming together, has been our series of biannual conferences. So it all started in 2002 in Senegal. And as it stands, I think over every 2 years, we've been having this conference running. So the next one is coming up in Dakar, Senegal. You can see on the left, we've got the save the date. So this has been quite effective in bringing people together. It has been a very good platform for people to network and talk about different aspects of material science. And it has resulted in quite a lot of collaborative activities. So in this slide, I'll just highlight some of the very fruitful collaborative activities that we've seen as a result of these conferences that we've been holding every 2 years. So you can see that quite a bit of funding has been coming from the US. So this was partly because of the foundations of the MRS. Which was established as a result of for the US Africa Materials Institute. We have some initiatives that have been running where we had some workshops that were spreading out to Latin America. So that also resulted in some collaborative activities. As you can see in the top left, I've got US Africa and Latin America. I think we had some very good work that was coming out of Brazil in terms of structural and out of these interactions as well. So we also of what I can also highlight is Rutgers University. We're in I think a program for about 5 years where we had a lot of graduate students that we to Rutgers primarily on the research by those the 2 years. So in terms of where BITRI is involved, this is a new research institute but then the first group of researchers was employed 2014. So it's quite a new institute. So in terms of the focus, it was set up by the government of Botswana, primarily focusing on the product development. So we're looking at how using maybe material science as a component. I just show you the two key departments of research, but I highlighted nanomaterials, which is where I belong. So the whole idea was to focus on product development through the research that we have at Petri. So that's why you can see there that we have right at the bottom, technology solution that transforms the lives of Botswana. So Botswana, people from Botswana, the whole idea was that you do research, come up with the prototypes or products that can result in transformation of lives. So we also emphasize the aspect of co-creation. That's why you can see on our bottom left, we have our motto from you to us for you. So the whole idea is that you do research
Sam, we're losing you. I'm going to turn off your video to try and save bandwidth.
Okay. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, is it okay?
Please. Yes, it's better now. So we're only showing your slide, no video. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. No, that's okay.
Yes.
So at Petri, we have a very good center for material science. We, from the African perspective, we view this as a resource center where we can have our researchers from different parts of Africa coming through to make use of the facility. But of course, to maintain the facility, we need to make sure that we have a model that allows us to be able to raise funds to keep everything operational. I think you can see that we have our XPS. I think we're talking about XRD. We also have that as well. We also have a very good SCM and a number of other instruments that we have in the lab. So this is open to the rest of Africa to come through and use the facilities. So in terms of what I focus on as a researcher within the Center of Material Science, my research focus is on electrospinning. I started this work at the Timber Labs, where initially we were working with the simplest setup that you can see in the figure in there. The whole idea is just to use a repulsive electrostatic forces to throw a polymer solution into nanofibers. But then with the focus on product development at Petri, we moved away from the simple setup. Now we have two labs. The first lab that we refer to as a lab scale electrospinning lab, we have 5 electrospinning units. So they have different components that allow us to be able to have more control of the electrospinning process. So I think I'll just highlight about 3 of them. We are able to produce tubular structures, depending on what you'll be focused on. We're also able to conduct coaxial electrospinning, which allows you to be able to spin 2 polymers at the same time, one in the core and the other in the sheath. And then also real-time UV sterilization, or if you want to be able to do cross-linking in real-time electrospinning, you're able to do that because of UV. And then we do have a 2 pilot scale electrospinning setups, which allow us to rapidly move to product development. So as you can see, we're able to spin a membrane that is about 0.5 meter wide. And we're on the electrospin setup that you can see in the picture there. It allows us to load a substrate that's about 1 kilometer long. So that allows us to be able to produce quite a long membrane, which makes it easier for us to be able to move on to product development. So I'm just showing you this so at least you can have an appreciation of some of the work that we do in terms of nanomaterials and nanofibers. But then in addition to doing the research at Petri, our contribution to the continent is to promote the use of electrospinning in Africa. We ran a series of workshops. We did the first one in Dakar. Sorry, it was in Arusha, Tanzania, at Emirates 2019. So the next one I'm going to be running it in Dakar in December 2021. Hopefully, COVID will not interfere with our plans. So this is our way of contributing towards the materials science on the continent. What I'll just do here, I'll just maybe just in a minute, just show you an overview of what Petri is all about. appreciation of what we cover. It's not only material science, the number of things that are there.
The Botswana Institute for Technology Research and Innovation is a parastatal under the Ministry of Tertiary Education, Research, Science and Technology, established in 2012 to conduct needs-based research and development in focused areas.
We are an R&D outfit.
Yeah, I think I'll just stop there. I know that we don't have much time. I know Simon kept on talking about moving fast. So I think in summary, what I can just say is that from the AMRS point of view, we are very happy to engage in this kind of forum, where I think clearly you can see that from almost all the talks, there's an aspect of material science. So on our part, we are going to continue to push forward the biennial conferences because we saw that they are quite spreading out the network for good. And we are going to push forward to make sure that we have more collaborative activities and research visits. This is the aspect of the funding that I was talking about earlier on. That's why we now have a programs officer and communications officer to ensure that there are more opportunities for funding. And hands-on workshops, it was really exciting to see what some of the speakers were talking about. It's something that we're trying to promote. We are having some links with the instrument companies that supply material equipment for materials characterization. So we're working with them to try and make sure that at least we can have more of these workshops, either per region or maybe as a continent. And then something that also came up in a positive way is what COVID did, where we realized the need to go online. So we are now also looking at how we can promote theoretical workshops. And then the last thing that is there is that obviously in terms of policy, we'll continue to move forward as the AMRS to try and influence a policy in terms of the value of materials research in Africa. I thank you for listening.
Okay, Sam, that was really wonderful for us to learn more about the AMRS. And I think what you showed us, it was once again very, very inspiring. And I see a lot of people asking you questions in the chat. And so you can pick it up there. I think we are a little behind time. I'm very